Sufism is a mystical branch of Islam, and all these mystical branches of Abrahamic traditions, like mysticism in Christianity, Sufism in Islam, or Kabbalah in Judaism, is the direct experience of that expanded state of consciousness, that you try to get to a God. They call it God, you can call it a universe, or complete openness of your consciousness, that you see the world as it is, not as you are taught that the world looks like. And there are still these branches that are active and work. And these guys that are dancing there, that's their way how to achieve a trance or ecstasy from the direct perception of God. You try to override the brain. Sometimes they use substances, or you can use some music or rhythm or this kind of dance, and they are called the whirling dervishes. Probably you know a Sufi poet, Rumi, Jalal Rumi. No, it's like the famous poet in the world, and he's from this tradition. He created that link. In Egypt, we had the Egyptian mysteries. Unfortunately, this has been forgotten already, but there are only a small parts of the tradition, but we still know how it worked. But there is no master, no wise man that would know the whole process, how to get there through this. But also, like in other traditions, there is one specific part where you need to die to understand, to see that your body is not connected to your consciousness, or your consciousness is separate from the body and from your mind. So in every traditions, what I showed you, there is one point where you need to get through psychological death, that you need to see yourself separate from your body and from your mind to get to that state that is completely expanded without attachment to your body. And not to bother you too long, there are also the current thinkers. This is Jan Gebser. He is from Switzerland, and he was a friend of my teacher, Georg Feuerstein, and he created a system of structures of consciousness. Maybe I already told you that he was trying to describe, since the first human were here, how it developed through the civilization, that the first people, they still have this connection to a nature, to God, to universe. And then the ego was created, the self-awareness. And it's same like with the kids. You see that little kids, they don't understand what is I and what is a table, what is mother. They perceive that everything, the whole world, is I. And then it starts changing, understanding, okay, that's you, that's me, that's mine, that's yours. And you go through this process of individuation through your whole life. But the goal is to return back to that unity consciousness, just to have this extra experience that you can be separated from others. And if you want to read an interesting book from the current a thinker, it's David Hawkins, and he wrote several books about the levels of consciousness. He created his own scale from 0 to 1000, which is a logarithmical scale, how the development of the consciousness looks like in humans. And he said that majority of the people are somewhere at the level of 200, which is basically the first step of the evolution in humans. And to get higher and higher, you need to do a lot of work. And there are only few people on that highest level, like more than 900, there is only one person in the world. Like it was Jesus and Buddha and these people that get into that high stage of consciousness. And there are like 20 people on level of 800 and maybe a few hundreds people on a level 700 and so on. And that's the same what we do in yoga. We use chakra system because chakras are not some only energetical systems in our body, but it describes the layers of consciousness. And we go from the first layer, which is Muladhara, where the animals ends. That's the highest potential that animals achieve, and then humans start. And we have the free will to stay there or evolve our consciousness even higher if we want to. But it's only up to us. No one guides you, no instincts, no Mother Nature will grab our hand and bring us through. We need to do it alone. The first layer, which is called Muladhara in the tradition, it's about a fear of death, that we still fear that our body will die and our existence will end. And as soon as we have this fear, we can evolve more, because all the anxieties, all the fears, all the issues we have in life starts there from the fear of death. Then we go to Svadhisthana, which is about desire, feelings, emotions, how we perceive the world. Manipura is about self-awareness, the development of the healthy ego, about our will and that fire of transformation. Then we go to Anahata, which is balance and love. And anything from Anahata higher, it's really expanded state of consciousness. You can call it enlightenment. And there are not many people in the world getting into that level, that they are wise enough to get there. So yoga is basically not so much about the movement and asanas. It used to be last 100 years, but before there was never anything about moving the body and creating a heat, internal heat through the work of the body. It was always about expanded state of consciousness.